Alright guys, what's going on? TheAireaidLord's here, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, where is the rest of the reaction? You're right in the middle of watching the intensity of The Walking Dead Season 8 finale, as was I. And to answer your question quickly, it's at the end of this video, so the second half of it, I'll actually leave a time mark in the video description. But there is a catch. My handy-dandy microphone, I think the noise of over-modulating it seemed to have, I don't know, like turned it off or just like something overloaded in the sensors somehow, because the remaining part of our reaction, including when me and my friends did a review of the episode, got completely wiped off the face of the planet. The video is still there. And that part is fine, but it's just the audio, so you won't be able to hear what we're saying, reacting to, the audio from the show. Like, it's all kerfluffled. It's screwed up. It's obviously the last thing I wanted to happen for, the big episode that I wanted to react to, the end of All Out War, the end of this Negan arc, Season 8, all of that, and, my friend's there as well, and literally what I uploaded last night was as much as got recorded. So up until the part where Rick charges Negan near the tree with the two windows, and then they tackle each other, and then it cuts. And funny enough, I think my yelling might have done it, because you guys must have heard when they cut that scene, I flipped out because, it went to commercial, and so I was like, duh, duh, like I didn't want that scene to end. And I think maybe my yelling, it overloaded the just the sensors and the sound, because I remember in Sony Vegas I saw them going like super high up and down, and it was just like overloaded, and the remaining clips just I noticed it. I was like, wait a minute, why is there no audio for these? And it just and the thing is, if I had, at least one of the clips would have been destroyed, but, because there were two videos that I took after that, so if I had noticed it, maybe one of them could have been saved, but alas, this is the best I can do, because, even if I watch the episode again, I already know what happened, so those, the reactions are raw, so you're not really going to get anything authentic, even if I was to show you guys that second half. So, really, the biggest thing we reacted to was Eugene's little trick with the gun, making all the bullets explode, which was really cool. And the first half of that episode, really up until, Rick finds Negan behind the tree. So, again, it's not what I wanted, and I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Some people were commenting, because I said part 1, and I was like, oh, part 2 is going to be tomorrow, which is today. Everyone was, there were some people who were saying, wow, there's a cliffhanger in your video for tomorrow, geez. And again, I don't ever do that. Usually the reaction video is just one video, but I had to make a last minute change just because it got screwed up. And it's funny, because this happened a few episodes back for episode 13, where the audio was like beeping and messed up. And again, I've had some problems with the software this season. I have, and 2 episodes now, the finale and episode 13, have both been affected by this, and just out of my control. Nothing, like, I didn't obviously plan it, I didn't want that to happen, but obviously it looks bad on me, because I'm the one who's reacting. That's what you guys are there to see, and it screwed up and it happened. So I mean, for this video, I'm just going to try to give my thoughts on the finale and go over what we saw and just give my rundown. I'm going to give in a few days, I think maybe next week, I'm going to do a review of Season 8 as a whole. So that video won't change because of this. And again, like, after I'm done speaking, I'm going to put the last 2 parts of my reaction that should be up. But again, all you're going to see is us just sitting there talking, but you can't hear what we're saying. And then you're going to see the episode in the upper right-hand corner, but it's again out of my control. So if you do watch those parts at the end, just know that there's no audio, because my mic is a piece of shit and my software is a piece of shit. So it's half. You get half of it, and it's the best I can do. So I might as well show it for people who want to see it. But again, it's there, and I'm making this video so there's actually some substance to this, instead of just it being an audio-less video. Because if I just did that, then people would be like, well, wait, why even put that up? Well, I don't really want to, but I'm going to put it up for people who want to see it, just in case, you know, to show that there's evidence, and to also show you that it's screwed up. Like, the evidence is right there. So, but yeah, I think also, you know, I because of this circumstance, I got an extra day to think about the finale, Wrath, episode 16. And, you know, some of the YouTubers I follow, TrevChan2, and some of the other Walking Dead community people who I've seen kind of commenting, reacting to the video, they were talking about this episode, and they were saying how it felt rushed, maybe a little bit. It was just quick. Like, all of a sudden, All Out War is over. Once Eugene did that trick with the bullets, All Out War was done. There was nothing more to it, because, you know, so many of the saviors had been killed or wounded, and then Rick just stormed in with the opportunity. Negan was there. He cornered him, attacked him, made his speech, attacked him again, then decided to save his life when he realized that he would have been a giant hypocrite and not honoring Carl's memory. And that was it, you know, though they didn't linger. We had the outside conflict with the saviors attacking the hilltop directly, and then the Oceanside came in throwing their Molotov cocktails, which was pretty cool. And Tara, you know, again, showing the trust with the new saviors. That guy, the curly-haired guy, kind of saying, you know, he even had that scene with Maggie at the end saying he wants to be a part of things. And there's a group of saviors who are actually going to be a part of the new world that they're creating, which is pretty cool. And we saw that, where Laura seems to be the de facto leader of the Sanctuary now, along with Tara and Rosita, which it looks like they moved into the Sanctuary. That scene where they drive there and they're, you know, building plants together, and which is, it's pretty crazy that, you know, just a few episodes ago they had all lined up there to surround the place. Rick had drove the RV and it blew up, and they were so, you know, times are different, but yeah, it's cool to see. I mean, they gave resolution to a bunch of things. The Dwight and Daryl scene was definitely needed, because this whole conflict started with them. That was the first episode the Saviors were introduced, in episode 6 of season 6, where Daryl first meets Dwight, tries to bring him on board. Dwight's frightened, goes back with Sherry, steals his bike, and goes back to Negan. And then we don't see him for a few episodes later. So Dwight was really was the one who kind of started this whole thing, and having the resolution with Daryl and Dwight was good. But Daryl was still kind of cold. I mean, he let Dwight live to go find Sherry, but he said to him, like, if I ever see you around here again, I'm going to kill you. And I was just like, what? Like, you're not going to embrace Rick's mentality of being a part of the new world? Like, Dwight is the big reason why they were able to even to get to this point. Like, he gave them the plans to get to the outposts, trapped Negan in the thing. Like, he gave them a fighting chance, because without that, like, Negan would have had hundreds of more soldiers. I mean, they had to wipe out those outposts, everything in the first half of season 8. All those different outposts that they went to. They killed a lot of saviors, and they only did that because of all of the information that Dwight gave Rick. So it's, you know, again, it's just Daryl working off of emotion, which is no surprise, where in the scene where Maggie is plotting with Jesus, Daryl comes out of the shadows, because they're all pissed off that Negan was left alive. And I can understand that, because, you know, Maggie lost Glenn, Daryl got Glenn killed. I think Jesus is more or less counseling Maggie at this point. But I don't think they're going to do anything against Rick. I think what they're plotting to do, and again, there was a lot of controversy over this. What they're plotting to do is to kill Negan without Rick knowing. So they're going to basically go against Rick's plans. You know, Daryl or somebody will sneak into the prison, capture him, bring him to Maggie, put a bullet in his head, stab him, kill him slowly, whatever they want to do. They're not going to hurt Rick or anything. They're just going to kill Negan. Basically, they're just going to defy Rick and go to where Negan's prison is and just try to kill him. That's what they were plotting to do. And then also Maggie, there was a hint of Maggie saying, look, like, we got to be strong so that if another group like Negan's comes along, like, we're not going to be on our knees begging for our lives. Like, we're going to be strong and fortified with an army. So That was her, and again, that's a nice point to bring up because, they ran into a big opponent, and I think they're like, well, we weren't as strong back then, but we can be stronger because we have the tools for it. So, they have the ability, and they have that book, The Key to the Future, where they're going to probably build windmills, devices, a whole bunch of things, and it looks like Eugene's back on board after everything he did, and so they've got the future kind of mapped out. So, in my review that the audio was muted, I gave this episode a 9.5. My friend Jack gave it a 9. My friend Pete gave it a 9.3. They listed various reasons. I specifically wanted there to be a little bit more resolution for some of the things that were being tied together, wrapped up. I know the Oceanside showed up, but I would have liked a conversation between Sydney and Tara, just kind of solidifying that they came, that they made the right decision, like, oh, thanks for doing that. Just some type of finality, like, oh, sorry about your grandmother, just something that kind of tied the knot on that, and we didn't really get anything like that. They had shots of other characters, like Carol and Ezekiel and Jerry go back to the kingdom. Morgan obviously goes off to, brings Jadis back. That's cool. I mean, we got to Jadis' name is actually Anne, which was pretty cool. And then Morgan was off on his little Fear the Walking Dead journey. So, so again, more or less, most of it is the finality, but I think that there could have been a few things that they could have definitely tied up beforehand. So, but I'll go into more detail when I do my larger season 8 review. This was just kind of like a brief thing to go over, try to redo my thoughts because that audio got muted. So again, it'll be at the end of this video if you guys want to watch it. That'll, it's up to you if you want to do that. So so just a brief overview. Again, I generally liked it. Good conclusion, fighting, such and such. So we'll see how they take things. I'm excited for season 9, but again, I'll reserve more of my opinions for that bigger video coming next week, where I kind of go over everything and talk about the future of the series and some things that I'm going to be trying to do, because I'm going to try to change things up, maybe get a new webcam, trying to improve the quality for the show and the channel, so moving forward. So, so with all that said, I will see you guys later. Thanks, and again, once this ends, this segment, it'll go into that muted audio, so if you want to see that part, be my guest, but just be warned about what you're getting yourself into. If you don't want to watch it, just click off here and wait for my review of Season 8 next week. Again, sorry, kind of, was messed up like that, but, things happen. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later for more vlogs. For now, I know the reactions are done, but we'll have more vlogs in the future for you. Definitely going to be going strong with those to fill the void. And I might even keep consistent with Fear the Walking Dead. You never know. I actually watched the first episode with Morgan, and I didn't think it was too bad. So I think for the sake of seeing Morgan's journey, I might stick with it. So, we'll see. So, all right. Peace out.